Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're finishing our look at Legacy Evolution Wave 4. This is from the Robots in Disguise 2015 universe, Strongarm. Now, just for clarity's sake, the 2015 cartoon Robots in Disguise was not called Robots in Disguise 2015. It was simply just called Robots in Disguise. Unity has given it the designation of 2015 to differentiate it from the Robots in Disguise cartoon from 2001. It is also important to note that as of this recording, the 2015 Robots in Disguise is the only Transformers show. Well, that is under Hasbro control. The 2001 Robots in Disguise series is still, the rights are still up in the air. I think Saban Entertainment still controls it, which is why you haven't seen it released on home media again. But enough of that. We're looking at Strongarm. And Strongarm was a new character introduced for the series. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were other Transformers that used the name Strongarm, but this was a new character that had no connection to those previous versions. And I have to say, it's really nice. Um, Now, back with Robots in Disguise, that was the first time, I believe, that instead of just getting deluxe class figures, we were getting what was called the Warrior class, which was intentionally simplified um, Transformers meant for easier transformations for children. Now, if you go back and watch my video reviews of those figures, you will notice that um, in a lot of cases, because they printed the instructions on the back of the packaging, so the parents could see how easy the transformation was, they oversimplified steps, which ended up making the transformations that much harder to accomplish. So now the original Warrior Strongarm was an okay figure. Unfortunately, there was a lot of back pain, but there were many versions of Strongarm released in the line that I thought were pretty good. And I gotta say, I think this is the best version of the character. And as many of you know, this is a repaint and a heavy retool of the Legacy Wave 2 RC mold. No, excuse me, Alita 1 that was reused for the Walgreens exclusive Minerva. And only through the transformation do I see any similarities to that mold. But it is very nice. And of course, we will do a comparison. Now, as I have mentioned with all these other uh, Wave 4 figures, I got the case from commandstore.com. And on the shipping case, it did say do not open before August 1st and do not stock until August 8th, which I believe, as of this recording, is tomorrow. So you might start seeing these figures popping up sooner than later. I do have to mention that about a day after I got these, which was actually I think August 1st, um, Hasbro went ahead and put the entire wave, revealed the entire wave, and made it available for pre-order. And those pre-orders, for example, from Amazon.com, have an October 3rd in stock or delivery date. My opinion, don't be if you've ordered from Amazon and other retailers, don't be surprised if these start showing up sooner. But I think it was 4 minutes of a intro for a very simple deluxe figure. And I have to say, like I said at the beginning, very nice, great use of the mold. Of course, with this mold, you flip out the back there, and let's go ahead and just remove the gun. You can actually have a little homage to one of the strong arm one step changers. Um, I am one little nitpick I am a little disappointed about is the blaster is done very little detailing, all in this smoky gray, gunmetal gray plastic. and I'm just a little disappointed that I'm not even sure if this is like accurate to the animation design of the blaster. The Evo Fusion was to have it stuck back here, which I thought is nice. The normal placement, you could put it on either side, just like so. So, we might as well just start with the transformation since I gone ahead and already started it. And one thing I want to mention is we're going to go ahead and open up these leg panels and just bring them down like so. And the instructions actually show you folding up the leg panels much sooner than you should. The reason being is the leg panel should be the last thing you do. And that's because the shoulders, the arms need to peg into the main torso of the body, and then the legs come up and close up over them. I think that might have been an issue with Elita 1's instructions as well. And this back panel, actually, if you have the legs already up, this back panel will not be able to peg into place because it'll just push the legs out of the way. So folding them up should be the last thing you do, but the first thing you do after flipping out the feet when going into robot mode. Other than that, the next step is you want to come in, free up the arms here. As I said, the forearms peg into the cab there, and then the shoulders here peg into the grill, the front section of the car, and we're just going to go ahead and free this up. Now the instructions make it look like that this can fold, this whole section needs to fold, can like angle forward. And unless it's very tight on my figure, uh, it's actually really does not shift around that much. But this back section then can come back and just trying to give it some clearance here. There we go. And this will come and sit on top of the light bar, which, by the way, the instructions show the light bar as a separate piece. It is because that is a port there from the original figure. Um, it came attached on my version. So basically, once you have that done, you can come down here and swing and snap the legs into place just so they're not hanging around loosey-goosey. Fold those panels up and separate the legs if they haven't already, and we'll just let that sit for now. The next step is you want to come and fold this panel up under the back and then close it, and then this whole section will close down. Now, one thing to note is the instructions show that these panels, which they can do, is pop out to the side and rotate up. This is all clear plastic. You actually will have to move that up and, oh, hello. I did not catch this part. Ooh, we just discovered something. Uh, this flips out to the side. Hmm, bring that down. Uh, you know what? They show the instructions show this these panels flipping out like that. They did not show that they're on a hinge. Wow. So let's go ahead, detach the arms, rotate the front of the truck forward. That forms those nice shoulder blades. Those are, oh, these are on hinges as well. Give you a little bit of room. And yeah, flip that down. And then go ahead and, yeah, there you go. Um, I was going to say that I was concerned about stressing the plastic, but clearly these hinges are here, so that these door panels can swing out of the way. I just discovered that now. And go ahead and rotate the waist around. But there you have Strongarm. And boy, if I wasn't impressed with this figure to begin with, I am now. Because that's a very nice touch and really does help with the transformation. And as you can see, the backpack I feel is fairly clean. So let's go ahead, bring the blaster in, hold it here. In terms of weapon storage on the figure, you do have the ports in the arm and the leg. Unfortunately, is there anything on the inside of the door? No, I'm not seeing anything. Well, wait a minute. Now that that tab is free, I wonder. Do. No, that tab is just a little too thick to fit into that slot there. But wow. But, this is always cool that when we can discover something together. But as you can see, there's strong arm. First of all, let's talk about the head. That is the closest look to the animation accurate design that I've seen on any of these figures. And nice little ball joint. Like you said, you can really rotate these shoulders out of the way. That really is not going to affect the movement. And again, rotate those back wings out. You can get a lot of arm movement here. Wow, I am just like you have no idea how, because I think this is more animation accurate with the wings out like that. I mean, I was going to tell you to just leave it because don't flex the plastic. I mean, I really am like surprised by that. Waist, knees, hips, ankles, and the feet can rotate. Now, obviously, I mean, if I'm sounding surprised just because that one little discovery, that one little thing can change how you feel. I mean, I was already digging this figure, but now it's like that much better. But let's go ahead and bring Alita 1 in. And you can see how much of this figure is new. I mean, the forearms, the the shoulder wings. Now, I have these folded back because this is really the Alita 1 design. Having them up over the shoulders was really the Minerva design. The whole chest, um, the waist here is the same. The inner like midriff above the waist is new. Below the waist is the same. The thighs are the same. The knees are the same. The top panels here are the same, but the little uh, wings here that fold out from the legs, these are new. The feet are the same. The connectors, how the legs peg together, are the same. Now, I do, oh, and of course, obviously, you go to the backpack. I think on Strong Arm here, it's a little bit cleaner, folds up a little bit nicer, especially when you have those wings folding out a little. And you can leave them folded up if you want. That's up to you. Um, but one thing I do want to point out is people were complaining about the use of the Alita 1 mold. And it has to do with the fact that they feel Strong Arm was a thicker character and should have a beefier mold. Now, technically that's correct, but as someone who has most of the Robots in Disguise versions, Strong Arm toys, I can tell you that once you get past that Warrior class figure, the one-step changers, the little mini cons, the smaller Legion toys, the size of Strong Arm's body was in some cases wider, but in a lot of cases a little more narrow. So I think this, first of all, using this mold, which let's be honest, they were going to do it, had to do it, uh, you know, got to milk that money. But I think it's a good approximation of not only the animation look, but also incorporating some of those toy designs. And I think maybe that's what they were going for. I mean, do I think this is going to be the last time we're going to see a strong arm figure from the 2015 Robots in Disguise show? Possibly. But with that being said, I don't think this was a bad use. Not at all. Um, So yeah, I mean, you might have wanted a thicker figure. I understand that. Um, but I think this is a good approximation across all the various designs of Strongarm. And let's also not forget that part of Legacy Evolution is not just representing the characters, but updating them to give them that more boxy G1-ish type of look. Like I think the story is Strongarm gets pulled through the multiverse, and in doing so, the design changes when arrive in another reality. So there's that. I don't have an issue. I think it's great. And like I said, this is the best use of the mold. The transformation is fun and all of that stuff. And oh, by the way, again, the regular robot shoulder, not even the shoulder panels, different. So they really could have used done gone two steps more, and given us an original mold. But then, to be honest, I don't think it was there in the budget, and I don't see the necessity of it. So, yeah, let's pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. I really can't get over how good this figure is. And I'll be honest, out of the four figures we've taken a look at in this wave, I'm going to say Strong Arm is the best. And that's funny because I wasn't that big of a fan of the Elita 1 mold. But that just goes to show you that when you do a little change, make a few changes, make some things different, it can really improve something. Now, I'm also was a big fan of the RID cartoon, and man, just going back to like 2015, it's one of those things where I don't know. I mean, you guys should check out my channel, but those figures are some of my most watched videos. And that was just a different time in the community where I think there was a real interest in the line. I mean, for Pete's sake, well, I think some of the Combiner Force teams dropped on the same day as like a lot of the Age of Extinction figures, and or the last night, and those reviews like skyrocketed. Man, I miss those days. But anyway, Strong Arm, fantastic figure. Love the color scheme. Um, Maybe we'll see this repainted into what it was called the off-road patrol colors, which were a traditional black and white police truck. Maybe we'll see this version retooled with a head and maybe a few adjustments to the limbs into a G1 Prowl, but using as that police SUV that, if you remember, was in the IDW comics. That's a possibility right there. I would probably buy both versions just because how much I like this. Um, but if this is the last time we see Strong Arm, I think this is definitely going out on a high note. And uh, if Wave 4 is the last wave of Legacy Evolution, in terms of the deluxes and the way we review them, this is going out on a high note, and I do recommend it immensely. That's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. The likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. I want to make the ultimate sign of support. I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards, as I screw up the focus of the camera. All it does is help me and help you bring figures like Strong Arm to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't swing the dollar a month, $12 a year, and yeah, that, believe it or not, that can be considered a lot. Your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. Once again, This is your old pal Chuck for Strongarm. We will see you next time.